I'm Wiktor Niesiobędzki, and we'll talk about the cartographic visualizations in Leaflet. First, a few words about myself. And I'm a computer geek, I'm a bike mag, I'm also an OpenStreetMapper. This is somehow connected with that. I'm riding a lot of bike and also visiting some strange places which aren't mapped. So I use that occasion to improve the OpenStreetMap. I'm also amateur photographer, but I'm not a JavaScript guru. I'm not even an UX specialist, and I'm not a cartographer. So it's not that the things that I will show you and this is result of my passion. And it's not, I would say, I'm a guru in JavaScript, so the way I did it in JavaScript is the best way. This will be also the speech about my journey, how I had the problem, and also how what I did to gain the result that satisfied me. So the problem I had with my bike was where to go for a trip. Here I decided to go for the place where there was a bit rough, but this was still quite well mapped, so I know what I'm doing. It was not that it was just a surprise for me that I will have to cross the river. So the constraints for my problem was where to find the good place for a trip within the borders of Poland. But still, I was interested in some rural areas, not the main cities, and I wanted the trip to be fun. So I found the Wiki Loves Monuments contest. This is the contest that the aim is to find every heritage building within Poland, to get a photo of it, and get the GPS coordinates. As for now, the data that government has is not, I would say, complete. It has a big database of the objects that has the heritage status, national heritage status within Poland, but this is grouped as a list. There is a lot of the heritage buildings within the small cities, villages, also rural areas, or outside any kind of the village, and more or less, I find it as a geocaching game where the object that I need to find is just a building, which if I don't have a photo, I don't even know how does it look like. Sometimes it is like, it's just a house, number 15, but when you look at the house number 15, it's just a modern building. It was built 10 years ago. So after some investigation, you learn that the building has currently the address 31, and this is exactly very old wooden building, but the problem that was presented on the list was quite different. And there's quite a lot of objects. It's like more or less 80,000 objects within the database. This is the objects that has the status of the national heritage within the objects that are maintained by the Narodowy Instytut Dziedzictwa. I will not translate this. So the list looks like more or less like this. It is just a Wikipedia page which has some description of the objects. They have some ID. It has sometimes the address. As you see in the first example, there is a quite precise address. And in the second is just the city name or even village name. Sometimes you have the photos, so you can have some idea how does it look like. But on the other hand, it's not the contest is to make a photos of the buildings. Most that doesn't have the photos. So it's like you should actually look for the objects that don't have the photos. So this is also makes it a bit harder. And also you can see in the third from the right column there's either the map icon or the photos icon, and this also gives information about how the state on the Wikipedia page of the object is. But I was not impressed with that, and it actually doesn't help at all for me to plan any trip. So, but still I found that is quite a good source of the data. So I was thinking, okay, this is a good source of data, but I would like to visualize somehow on the map. I also wanted to use the information, what data are actually provided on the Wikipedia page. And also I was interested in where to look for the object if no one provides any GPS coordinates. So the solution was to build my own map. And I found even more data sources than the Wikipedia page, but because I also found the georeferenced images on the Wikipedia, because the page on the Wikipedia is not automatically updated when someone uploads the photo. So sometimes there are valuable information stored in the EXIF header of the photo, so you can get the location, more approximate location of the object if it's not on the list. There's also the heritage buildings or objects within OpenStreetMap, and also there's open or otwarte zabytki data. They reside just behind the wall here. They have also some data about the heritage buildings, and some of the data overlap between all these data sources, some not. Sometimes you can have the information about one object within all the data sources, but all of them point to the different place. And my approach to the problem was just first to gather the data from Wikipedia. So I used Python and Beautiful Soup to parse the data that comes from Wikipedia. I used the Overpass API, which I will talk about a bit later, and conversion of the OSM XML to GeoJSON. I used also the extracts that are provided by otwarte zabytki. I stored all the data in the Mongo database. I used the geospatial functionalities of the Mongo to help with the analysis of the data. I analyzed the data using both Python and using Nominatim from OpenStreetMap to code the addresses that I found on the Wikipedia page to some points on the Earth. And I create finally the map using LeafletJS and giving the data using some Python Flask REST service. So few words about the Overpass. Overpass is a very powerful API for searching through the OpenStreetMap data. I'll show maybe just a sample query. Gives the query's first part is about how to where I would like to find some objects. So this is that I'm looking for an administrative boundary of Warsaw, and then this is the second part is okay, what I would like to find within that area. So here I have just okay, I would like to find the fuel stations in the map. And this is the output from the Overpass Turbo, which is a visualizer for Overpass queries. And it gives some circles, okay, there is the places that you would like to, that you were interested in. You can also query Overpass about the bounding boxes areas. So actually you can just put your current view and find something that you are interested in there. There is quite a nice wizard if you have simple queries to ask to OSM data, which you can fetch from there. If you have something, if you are interested in some more details, you need to actually, probably you will need to look to the Overpass QL language reference and just prepare some more complicated queries, but that's not a challenge, I would say. And the response data is just a simple JSON, which gives you the location of the object, so latitude and longitude, and gives some other tags that are stored within OSM data. So you have, apart from the information that is a fuel station, you have the information that is this is a Bliska brand, and they have the biodiesel, diesel, and octane 95 fuel. From other objects in OpenStreetMap, you can have, or you can find some other data that might be important in your search. For example, opening hours for some shops or things like that. The other service from OpenStreetMap that I used is Nominatim. Nominatim is a service that that you can use to both geocode the addresses or reverse geocode the points to the addresses. So either you enter the address and you get some coordinates, or actually the list of the coordinates where the point may be, or the reverse, you give the point and you get what the address might be there. It's actually the answer that it gives. OpenStreetMap in Poland has around 5 million addresses points, which is quite extensive, and grew during the third quarter of this year around 500,000. So it's quite a huge improvement, and I hope it will continue. So we will reach the final state, which is around 8 million of the addresses in Poland quite soon. And important also in this topic is the territorial administration borders, because actually in Poland we have duplicate county names, you have the duplicate powiaty, so sometimes actually when you enter the address and you do not provide any administrative address, you will get the results that might be a few hundred kilometers apart from each other. And you don't know where to look, which one is the one that you would like. So giving, for example, the name of some of the administrative unit, you will actually get the one that you are interested in, provided that you know where you are looking for the point. And here is the LeafletJS, just a simple part of the code that creates the map. Leaflet is very, I would say, friendly and useful, because just using this 10 lines of code, I get a standard map that I can pan and I can zoom. And then after that, I can add another features that this more or less, this is not all that I found useful, but this is the ones that I found the most interesting. First one was the locate control. That was very useful if I'm biking somewhere. I don't need to keep the track of my map. I just pull out my smartphone, I open my page, I just click locate me, and in a few seconds I'm just around the place where I wanted to, where I am currently, so I can see what the objects I have around me. Hash was also the thing that I found a bit useful. Is just keeping the state of the map within the URL, so you can always provide the link to the specific map state. So you provide the zoom level, you provide the coordinates of the center view. So actually, just by having that, you can share the link. That is one thing. And also, when you leave the page and then go back to the page, you will also return to the page where you actually were browsing. Because if you can see on the code here, I actually initialized map with some coordinates. So every time I've opened the map, I actually landed in with the view that was centered around this point. And using the hash, leaflet hash, I actually stored the state of the map within the URL. So when I was returning to the page, I was returning to the same page. Marker cluster was also important for me, because it was quite common that I had around 2,000 markers present on the screen. That's quite a lot for Leaflet to show. So marker cluster gathers the points that are nearby and shows only one marker on the map. And if you zoom in, it will just automatically uncluster them. Actually, it provides some plugins for, if you click, they will show or zoom and stuff like that. Tile layer GeoJSON, I found it also important. If I would had a lot of traffic on my page, I didn't have, but still I found it the best way. How can I split all the data that I had, about 80,000 objects, to just provide the data that was relevant to the map that I was viewing. Tile layer GeoJSON just keeps the the map as a tiles. This is the same more or less that you have the tiles within the OpenStreetMap, and you can see the tile numbers within the address or the same tiles that you have on the Google. And this is the same representation, but it gives you the ability to provide the data with GeoJSON. So I use that, okay, I can have the name of the tile, and then I know the coordinates, and this will not change. So every user will land on the same URL. So I can cache it because it is not changing, and I can give it to the user. Yes, that was few words about the tile layer. Yes, my data, if I would like to provide them to the user in one file, it would be around 50 megabytes of JSON. I could compress it, but still it will be like 5 megabytes after compression. So first is the problem of the long download time. Secondly, the problem of the browser that will have a lot of data to crunch. I tried it probably in the first attempt, but then very shortly I moved to the tile layer solution. Also, I experimented using that with content delivery network, and GeoJSON tile layer very nicely played with it, because actually just because these are different URLs, the CDN just recognizes this as a different data, so it just caches and everything works as designed. But it's not without a cost. The first cost that it is there is that data is not shared between Zoom levels, because Zoom level is coded in the URL. So when you change, then the URL changes. So you need to find one time the same data. So for example, if you are on you see more or less the whole Warsaw, you zoom in, so you see 1/4 of the Warsaw, but still the map downloads the data because actually this is different the URL. So that was the one disadvantage, but I decided to live with it. And the other thing is that actually it was a bit of a pain in the ass to use also clustering of the markers, because actually it would be far more easier if I just show all the markers that I had on the map just as they were, than to cluster them. So I needed to provide some code around it. But some hacks that I found, and I recommend you to also use when you are using this solution. It was first one thing was to use smaller max native zoom for the GeoJSON layer. Max native zoom is the zoom that is connected with the layer that I was downloading. So actually, the zoom level, the higher it is, the closer you are to the buildings. So when you set, for example, the max native zoom at level 17, when you zoom in to the level 18, you're actually not downloading again the same data, because the layer that is the GeoJSON layer stays at the 17 zoom level. So you are actually, this was some of the workaround that I made just to not download each time that I was zooming the data, but just to stay with some data when I was close enough. The other thing was just to use the CDN. I recommend. There are some companies that provide the CDNs for free, and it gives a lot of boost to your website. That's my impression. And also, because I've made quite a few maps, some of the maps I use just the simple GeoJSON, and this solution just connected with some AJAX calls just downloads all the data and puts all the points on the map at once. If you don't have that much points, it may work very, very well. I have some maps where I have probably like 6,000 objects viewable, and it's actually, it gives some pain to the browser, but still it works quite smoothly. I also occurred closer. Okay, sorry. I also used stumbled upon quite a few problems with the borders, because I was analyzing the address data with the data that is in OSM. So when I had some geometry of the administrative boundaries, there were some problems that Mongo didn't accept the geometry. And I actually didn't know, okay, it looks like quite okay, so what's wrong? I firstly was looking that maybe Mongo is not working properly, but then I found the GeoJSON linked page, and this gives quite good information about what's wrong with the geometry of the object that you have, and also provides the visualization. So you actually can see how the geometry of the object that you have looks like. So if you made it correct, or maybe you swapped the longitude and latitude, so you are not having the geometry in Poland, but somewhere in Saudi Arabia. That was the problems that I had also. But also there was quite a few people that had the same problem, and there were quite a lot of heritage buildings that I also found that were marked there in Saudi Arabia. So this is quite a common problem that we really don't know which is which. Also, I had a lot of data to show. If in some different use cases, you actually may not use the GeoJSON layer at all. GeoJSON, you can just generate the transparent tiles, the graphics, and just use it as an overlay over the standard map. And you can use either Mapnik or Maperative to generate the tiles that will visualize the data that you have to show. That was the result. That is the result of the map somewhere near here, I guess, or maybe not. Yes, somewhere. Yes, we are quite close here. I use few icons. As you can see, there is the green tick that marks that there is a heritage building with all the data. So it has both the photo and has both the location, and there's the balls are the places where there are some markers clustered, and there is the question mark where it is actually the location of the object that was guessed by the Nomina team. There's also the icon that for the object that needs photography. This is the other visualization that I also made for this project. It shows, because maybe I'm going to say that, returning to that map, it actually, if you zoom out, that you see, I don't know, 1/4 of Poland, it actually doesn't give you at all the information where to go. If you plan the trip and you are in Warsaw and you, okay, where I would like to go, where's the most places to go, it doesn't give the answer. So this was the map that gives the answer. It's actually on 3 levels. It's on the level of województwa. It's also on the level of powiaty and gminy. Here you see the visualization of the data on gminy level, and it shows it's geocoded by the color, amount of the objects that are probably in this map. It's located. So you can see that, for example, in Skierniewice is only 20 objects located out of 80. There are a lot of places around where the objects, and they are actually not located. So it is a good place to go. And on the other hand, on the right-hand side, you can see there's a lot of the objects already with all of the information. So maybe it's not worth going there, at least if you are starting in the contest. And you are because there was also some really nice prizes there if you are starting there. So this was the visualization, and also it actually helps some planning. This was made using Maperative. Maperative is a .NET application, but runs under the Mono, so it was possible. And all the geometry of the objects is downloaded from OSM. Yes, and I may only say that if the geometry is broken in the OSM, you would see the black the black place or the transparent place where there is the broken geometry. So it's sometimes I can use it as a just data validation for OSM. I can say, oh, someone broke something here, so I need to fix it. Yes, here is the other. It's not mine page. It's made by Adam Jordanek from Wrocław. This OSM 24 EU page. It uses the data that are fetched from using overpass from OSM. So this is the page that doesn't have any database behind it. It's all using only public services in available from OSM, and it shows what are the places around you that are open, and you can choose the more or less the need or the category of the object that you're interested, and it shows coded by the color where you can find something. So you can see that on Stawki Street there was at that time open supermarket and closed probably this is the pharmacy probably. So this is one of the examples that uses overpass, so it's not without the database behind. This is also the other example, and this is the using the mapnik and time mill, and you can see that if you have a lot of data, and this is probably 20,000 stars on this map, so it's not worth to mark it with every bullet. So you can just generate the image using time mill, and then just use it as an overlay over the map. And this gives the performance if you have a lot of objects to show. And still, if you would, this is also some solution. You can actually generate this kind of map, and then when you are zooming in, you can actually change your layer, remove this layer which is static, and provide the dynamic layer that uses GeoJSON objects. Yeah. Any questions? I will probably take them in Polish.
Już biegnę.
Znaczy zasadniczo samo to postawienie problemu, znaczy, bo teraz nie wiem, czy pan jest zaznajomiony, ale jest jakby uruchomiony ten portal taki mapy zabytek.gov.pl, tak? Jakby, czy on nie rozwiązuje tego, co jakby pańskiej potrzeby samej w sobie?
Znaczy tam brakuje dobrej wyszukiwarki. Tam jest tak, że jeżeli się oddalisz od strony, to niestety nie masz dobrej informacji o tym, gdzie coś się znajduje i jakby trudno też wyszukiwać po jakichś kategoriach. Co więcej, chyba te dane dużo danych się pojawiło w tym serwisie w ciągu ostatnich 2-3 miesięcy. Jak ja to robiłem na wiosnę, to jeszcze tego nie było.
Jasne.
Ktoś jeszcze? Odnośnie technologii, które zostały dobrane, znaczy OpenStreetMap, Leaflet, cokolwiek tam pod spodem, czy są jakieś ograniczenia licencyjne, kwotowe, bo często z mapami jest tak, że możemy tam 100 000 requestów w miesiącu i koniec i nam odcinają, czy jakoś pan sprawdzał, jeżeli chodzi o to, ile to wytrzyma pod kątem darmowym i jaki byłby koszt utrzymania tego serwisu przy większej ilości użytkowników?
Znaczy jeżeli chodzi, najtrudniejszym tutaj punktem, w którym jest jakby kwestia kwoty mnie dotknęła, to był Nominatim. Jakby tutaj chyba gdzieś mi umknęła kwestia właśnie Nominatima, tego, że generalnie po pierwsze kaszujemy odpowiedź z Nominatima po swojej stronie, po drugie trzeba ustawić też właściwego user agenta, żeby było wskazanie, że o kogo dokładnie chodzi. Ja tam generalnie podaję swój adres mailowy, w razie czego. Natomiast to nie uratowało mnie jeszcze tym, że zostałem zblokowany, bo jednak przygotowanie 80 000 adresów w ciągu jednego wieczora, no to jest za dużo dla Nominatima. Generalnie ja to rozwiązałem w ten sposób, że zadaję nie więcej niż tam chyba 5000 zapytań dziennie do Nominatima, resztę pobieram ze swojego cache'a. I to jest takie jakby rozwiązanie używające Nominatima, który jest używany też na www.openstreetmap.org. I to jest Nominatim, który ma największe ograniczenia, jeżeli chodzi o ruch, natomiast ma też najświeższe dane. Jak sobie porównywałem Nominatima, który jest dostępny też jakby z mniejszymi dużo ograniczeniami, chyba prowadzony przez firmę MapQuest, jeżeli dobrze pamiętam, no to tam jakby nie było żadnego problemu, natomiast okazywało się, że miałem dane, no przypuszczam, że tam były dane mniej więcej przed 2-3 miesięcy. Co okazywało się, że w momencie, w którym do OpenStreetMap są dane ładowane o adresach, przyrost jest rzędu 500 000 adresów na kwartał, no to oznaczało, że jednak pozbywałem się dużej ilości informacji. Więc zdecydowałem się na to, że wybieram nomina teama z OSM i tutaj jakby to było to rozwiązanie. Jakby oczywiście nic nie stoi na przeszkodzie, że jeżeli masz potrzebę rzeczywiście wielu zapytań, możesz postawić to u siebie. Jeżeli chodzi o kafelki, to z kafelkami nie miałem żadnych problemów. Jeszcze jest kwestia overpassa. Overpass też ma pewne ograniczenia, ale generalnie jak patrzyłem ostatnio, to jedyne ograniczenia, które nas spotkałem, to że w przypadku skomplikowanych zapytań sugerował za pomocą kodu 400, żebym nie robił więcej niż jedno zapytanie równolegle. Także chyba to takie ograniczenia, na jakie się natrafiłem. No ale znowu overpassa można ściągnąć, zainstalować u siebie. Jakby kłopot jest tylko taki, że to jest jakby w innej postaci baza, w związku z tym trzeba jakby to, co jeżeli masz PostGIS-a u siebie, no to musisz go jeszcze przekonwertować na format overpassowy.
Dzięki.
No i jest jeszcze kwestia chyba może tylko tak, jeżeli chodzi o licencyjną, to jest kwestia licencji danych, no bo pozyskane dane, które pozyskałeś, dane adresowe, no to jest kwestia licencji, że one generalnie na wiki OpenStreetMap jest opisany ten przypadek geokodowania adresów i w związku z tym dane, które są zgeokodowane za pomocą OpenStreetMap. Wydaje mi się, że było mowa o tym, że ten zbiór danych też powinien być objęty licencją ODBL.
Ja mam jeszcze jedno.
No.
Na początku prezentacji wylistowałeś technologie, których użyłeś. To była dość długa lista. Jak dużo czasu zajęło pospinanie tego wszystkiego razem i faktycznie gdzie były najtrudniejsze te punkty integracji?
To było tutaj. Najtrudniejsze punkty. Czy to tak było, to była rzecz, która się pojawiła w mojej głowie gdzieś w okolicach chyba majówki, że w ogóle taki pomysł, że potrzebuję takich informacji, jak i również moja wiedza o tym, że w ogóle istnieje takie coś jak lista zabytków na Wikipedii. Taka wersja rzeczywiście pełen wypas, no to była gdzieś na koniec chyba, czy też w połowie sierpnia, gdzie po drodze miałem jeszcze inne wycieczki, miałem jeszcze normalną pracę i tak dalej, więc to był taki mój hobbystyczny projekt. Mogę powiedzieć tak, znaczy Mongo bardzo mi dużo pomogło. Mogę powiedzieć bardziej o tym, co mi bardzo pomogło. Tak? Mongo mi strasznie pomogło tym, że ma indeksy przestrzenne. To było po prostu tak, że wrzucasz tam geok.jsona i wszystkie zapytania o tym, co jest blisko, co się w jakiej geometrii zawiera, od razu dostajesz bez żadnego tam bawienia się. Co gdy gdzieś tam teraz buduję jakieś inne rozwiązanie, które męczy dane geograficzne, to jednak jest jakimś tam bólem. Beautiful Soup, no to jest biblioteka do Pythona, która generalnie pozwala w miarę łatwo operować po XML-ach albo po HTML-u, no to tam dużo ułatwia w zakresie sczytywania danych. Trochę miałem zabawy z overpassem w zakresie tego, jakie te zapytania porobić, no to jest jednak rzecz, którą się gdzieś tam trzeba nabyć. I może kwestia była jeszcze tam dopracowania, ile mogę zadać pytań nomina teamowi, tak? Bo to było jakieś tam ból, że puszczam skrypt, no i się po jakimś czasie okazuje, że on jakoś strasznie długo działa, bo kurczę, minęło 6 godzin i on nadal nic, tak? I się okazuje, że on jakiegoś czasu dostaje kod error 500, no i niestety spróbuj ponownie za jakiś czas. No a ja nie pytałem w wystarczających odstępach.
Ktoś jeszcze? W takim razie dziękujemy bardzo.
Dziękuję.
Brawo.